Check, 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 check. I swear. This is the third or fourth straight live stream. I've tried to schedule it, and for some reason, there's always a mess up. There's no the problem is once you're in the live stream, there's no way to switch around your microphones, and for some reason, it switched my mic from the time that I scheduled it to the time that I went live. It's just a pain in the behind. So I'm just hopefully wait for everyone who is in the scheduled stream to hopefully make it over here because I just started to get people coming in. So Raul, can you hear me? Yes or no? I am showing that I'm picking up now. Check, check, check. Volume check. I mean, I wouldn't be a good musician if I was actually on time, I guess. I don't trust musicians who are on time. Raul can hear me. Sweet. Okay, so I guess I'll reiterate everything that I said on the last stream. Are you going to hear anything? So I just wanted to do an end of the year stream, Christmas time stream, obviously. Just to kind of wrap up the year. You know, we're in the middle of the 12 days of Stevemas. I hope everyone's watching that. That is in response to over the last 18 months that I have had that this channel of people actually wanting to like hear me play. So I was like, well, I've got all of this material that I've accumulated over the years. So I figured that I would, you know, throw it up as a gift to everyone who has watched me over the years. What's up, musical music? Merry Christmas, sir. Yeah, I knew that when I put the metal band up, that was going to be the thing that most people like. Wait until you see the ballad that I wrote. In about 3 days, there's going to be just a slow, love-lorn ballad. And people are going to fucking hate that. But I mean, I write those kind of songs. It's a song that I wrote with the girl that you're going to see singing that. Has everyone watched? And I know you have musical music because I've seen you in the live I do sing, and I'm actually going to be releasing a solo record. It's going to be something that I start working on after the first of the year. The tracks are recorded. I just got to do the vocal tracks. Raul says, I have my kit. Let's play. Let's play. Yeah. So, the Drunk Uncle Radio podcast, which is the newest show that I have on my channel. I hope everyone is giving that a chance. Tomorrow will be our 5th episode. We're going to be doing a Christmas episode. We recorded 2 songs, and we're going to be talking about Christmas and Christmas songs. And then there's going to be a deep dive into the Bing Crosby, because Jimmy wanted to talk about Bing Crosby, and we did a pretty thorough investigation of Bing Crosby's career. So it doesn't look like there's that many people coming in here right now. I wasn't really expecting too many. These live streams are still kind of a new thing. I'm still trying to figure it out. Raul, why do you always say welcome to the Ange TV show? I don't understand that. You said that the last time too. But so I've got one more React analysis video that I'm going to do on Tuesday. It's going to be my Christmas episode. And then I am going away until the 1st of January, until January 4th at least. I am taking a vacation from this shit year. And you will see me then. And then, of course, the 12 days of Stevens will go all the way up until Christmas. There'll be Christmas songs on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. You'll see those. Musical Music says the Offspring did a Christmas song this year. Did you see it? I didn't. But speaking of like Christmas music by people that you didn't think would do Christmas music, in a lesson the other day, I had to teach the My Chemical Romance version of All I Want for Christmas Is You, which was it's a version. It's a song that exists. It's a song that exists on the internet and is out in the world. But yeah, you know, if a kid wants to learn something, I don't have to like it. I'll teach it to him. So again, just piddling around to see if anyone shows up. I think the most I've ever had on one of these, and I think this is the 3rd or 4th one. It was like 62 people, I think, but I'm still trying to figure out like when the best time to do these are. I have no clue, and found about 17 different answers on the internet of like when the prime time to do a live stream is. But yeah, man, I hope everyone checks out the Drunk Uncle Radio podcast because I'm very proud of that. We're getting good at it. Like I said, tomorrow's our 5th episode. The first episode back in January will be, if you've watched it at all, my buddy Adam Jones, not Tool Adam Jones, but my friend Adam Jones, is a videographer and a film director for Rush, and it's going to be a Rush episode. And we're going to actually get to premiere a Rush announcement on that episode, and he's gotten clearance from the boys, and we're going to get to actually tell everybody about some special thing that's going to happen in the Rush world next year. Yeah, that's going to be first Saturday of January. So another thing that I was going to announce is after the first of the year, I'm going to do a series of videos where I heal a drum set. I bought this roached out Premier. I think it's either a Vitria or an Astria, but it's if the crackhead that I bought it from is to be believed, was a custom type job that it's a mahogany Premier. Now, as a woodworker, I know that it's not mahogany, it's sapele probably. And it's just completely roached. It needs so much work. So I'm going to do a series of videos of me working on that thing. I'm going to strip all the hardware down. I may even end up rerouting the bearing edges and that kind of things. That's going to be another series that I'm going to be doing in the new year. I'm going to be doing a lot more top 5 and top 10 type lists, because it seemed like those last 2 that I did actually did pretty well. And honestly, I'm trying to find some. I'm always going to do the react analysis videos because that's what, most people know me from, and I really enjoy doing those. But I am looking and trying to find other sort of kind of content to do on my channel, because I don't want to get stale and I don't want to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. So that's I'm up for any suggestions there. I think I'm going to do the Fiverr trick. I'm going to do I paid 5 musicians to play a song I wrote. And I think I'm going to do that because I'm really interested in that. Like I said earlier, the guy who asked me if I sing, hey, what's up, Jonathan? I don't know if I'm a singer, but I'm definitely going to sing on a solo record that I'm going to be working on in the new year. I'm going to take one of those songs, and I think I'm going to do that Fiverr trick. That looks like a lot of fun. I saw Steven Taylor do that, and since there's multiple people that I've seen do those, I don't feel too bad about doing the same thing. Because of the Drunk Uncle Radio podcast, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me playing, because we're going to kind of every episode do a song, because it's really reinvigorated us as musicians to have things to work on, because we all were gigging musicians up until March, and we now have reason to get behind our instruments and try hard again. So that's one of the reasons we even started doing the Drunk Uncle Radio podcast. Yeah, music, what you got? As long as it's not politics and religion, we'll talk about anything around here. That's another thing. Ask me anything, AMA, as long as it's not about religion or politics, because you fucking go somewhere else to hear that shit. Preferably wrestling and breakfast food questions. But yeah, you're going to see a lot more of me playing. It's weird. I didn't think that like I would ever have too much of me playing on this channel, but I've gotten like decent feedback on all of it, because I kind of figured that like all YouTube needed was just like one more YouTuber drummer guy. And I've said it before, I'm not a virtuoso drum Olympian. Holy shit, look how fast that guy plays. But I'm a song player. I'm a musical drummer, hopefully. Let's see. The cryogenic drummer. Maybe instead of instruments, we should bear weapons and kill the people making the laws. They make these laws, not me. Whoa. Well, y'all talk amongst yourself, because I have nothing to say about that. Music. So what do you think of Jerry Cantrell's solo album and Alice in Chains' Post-Lane Staley? That's funny you should say that. Me and the Drunk Uncle Radio guys, we have a thread that we talk together every day regularly, and we were talking about that 2 days ago. I don't know the Jerry Cantrell solo record at all, but man, I think that dude that replaced Lane Staley, and man, that's a hard dude to replace. That's a very singular, very charismatic and unique voice to replace. And I think that guy's great. I've seen a lot of live videos with that dude, and I think he's great. I think they lucked out with him. I opened up for Blind Melon when they tried to replace Shannon Hoon. They did like a handful of gigs, and then a guy kind of, I think, turned out to be kind of a flake. And he did like a good enough job, and it was fine. But you knew that it wasn't going to be tenable. It wasn't going to be anything that lasted any amount of time. But yeah, Alice in Chains is lucked out, man. It's easy to replace a drummer. It's easy to replace a guitar player. It's easy to replace bass player. But man, the voice, to replace a vocalist, that's tricky. That's a tricky thing. Hey, Jonathan, if you're still in here, thank you so much for sending me those tracks. I haven't downloaded them yet. I've just been super busy lately, but it's going to be something I do when I start on my vacation. Starting next Wednesday, I am on vacation until January 4th, which is why I'm doing this live stream now. See, music. I sing, play guitar, and dabble in drums, and Jerry is my idol, and I can't find others who like him or his music, so I figured I'd ask you. I love Alice in Chains. I fucking love them. Lisa Manabon, hello. Can you tell how I can learn? Can you tell how I can learn piano? It's so fun. These live streams get promoted in the algorithm, so lots of people will just get suggested these live streams, and people have no idea who you are. I've had so many people come into my live stream like, "Who are you? What do you do?" Lalisa Manabon, can you tell how you can learn piano? I mean, man, it's YouTube. Go search YouTube, mama. All the answers, everything that you need. If you need to know how to do something, do it. It's on YouTube. Just find it on YouTube, sweetheart. Just go. Obviously, you can go to a local music store and take lessons, which is what I always suggest because that's what I do for a living. Yeah, that's how you can learn piano. Also, don't be afraid to take an instrument and play it badly and just experiment and see what you can figure out that way. I think too many people think that you have to start learning an instrument from the beginning the correct way. Man, bang and beat on that thing and experiment, and you might run into some shit. You might run into something that's cool. And then if you're able to get any kind of proficiency from at that point, then if you really want to learn the insides and outsides of an instrument, then go take lessons. You know what I mean? I watched The Dark Side of the Ring on Owen Hart. Did you see it? It's pretty good. Oh man, I watched all that Dark Side of the Ring stuff. That Chris Benoit one was hard to watch, man. That was fucking ruthless. That was hard to watch, man. Whew. Especially because I was a big Benoit fan. His matches were phenomenal. If you like pro wrestling, that guy was one of the best pro wrestlers ever. I think the way that Chris Jericho dealt with it was just like, look, man, he's a terrible person that was one of my best friends, and at one point was a good person and then became not a good person. If you don't like that, it's just too bad. I like the fact that he stands up for the good part of Chris Benoit's life. It's easy to just say fuck that dude because he did the unthinkable. Man, people turn bad and go the wrong way. Yeah, that Owen Hart one's hard to watch too. Lalisa Manabon, who obviously doesn't know my channel. Do you like any K-pop music artists? No, sweetheart. No, not at all. This is a drum channel. I fucking hate that stuff. I don't get it. I'm glad that I am at the level of my age that I just don't mind to be the old dinosaur in the room. I don't get it. I think it's everything that's wrong with the music business. I think that the fact that you have so many of those manufactured children like harming themselves as they get older is proof that shit is toxic. Absolutely toxic. And the music sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sure Lisa, you probably dig it. But I'm a 43-year-old dude, man. You're probably not. And we're not supposed to like the same things. And it's okay to not like the same things. But I think it's a travesty. I think it's a travesty. Right, dude. I feel compelled to save those kids. Yeah, seriously. Like, if you go look it up, man, a lot of those kids end bad, and not like American child artists who go bad, but they go dead. You know what I mean? Like, that dude wants to save everyone. I do too. Good man. Best Star Wars character. This was asked last time. You can see my Star Wars stuff back there and all my comic books back here. I'm a huge adult I'm an adult child. Man, best Star Wars character is fucking Han Solo. It's Han Solo, obviously. It's always Han Solo. And then Luke Skywalker. And then Leia. And then Lando. Anyone that's not in the last three, because those last three, I was thinking this the other day, those last three, the Disney Star Wars, are so good that they've elevated the prequels. They've made the prequels look like genius pieces of art. Okay, Brandon Dominic, did you watch the last episode of Mando? No, do not spoil it, because I'm watching that after I get done with this live stream. That is my modus operandi for the night, is to watch the last Mando. So please don't say anything. Brandon Dominic, did you watch the? Oh yeah, okay, I did that. You're a beast, bro. Happy holidays, Zion Cavalera. Man, thanks, man. Are you Igor's brother? Musical music. You like the Lord of the Rings? Of course I do. I'm a complete fantasy nerd. I have them all over there. I even have the Silmarillion. Yeah, I'm all in on anything sci-fi, fantasy, comic book, pro wrestling. I mean, I tick every Comic-Con box except for anime and K-pop. Like, those are the two things I just don't really get. Let's see. Hostina Reina, favorite Slayer song. Angel of Death. Angel of Death or Raining Blood. War Ensemble. Fuck, man. I don't know. Like, those three, I mean, those are three that I want to listen to every time. No, not the Magic the Gathering. That's a box I guess I don't check. I love your shirt. Thank you. I pride myself in my shirt collection. I have a room that's just for clothes. It's supposed to be another bedroom, but I just have a room that's just for clothes, because I'm kind of like that with clothes. Hey, Steve, I'm loving that shirt. What's your favorite Lookadoo 79? What's that, man? I think I talked to you last time. What's your favorite Christmas movie? And don't say Die Hard. I mean, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but it's not like a Christmas movie. It's probably Elf. It's probably Elf. It's Elf, or it's a Christmas Story. It's Elf or a Christmas Story. I'm a kid from the 90s, so a Christmas Story always. Lalisa Manabon, this is off topic, but see, that's the thing I love about these live streams. I don't just have to talk about music with these things. Sometimes I get sick of talking about music and drums all the time. Do you like any Harry Potter movies? Of course, man. I love all the Harry Potter movies. I was watching them. I think I seen everyone in the theater. I think I only read the third one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I only read the third one, but I've seen them all. Actually, I watched the last two. What is it? The last two of book 7 just a couple weeks ago. Carlos Ariza Baber. Man, I'm not going to remember the name of this band, dude. Yes, I will. A fan from the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic. Also a 43-year-old geek. What's happening? Any favorite Latin rock band? Yes, they're pretty obscure. I know that they got nominated for a Grammy, but there's this band called the B-Side Players. They're fucking great. They're called the B-Side Players, and they're from LA. And if you haven't checked them out, dude, you have to. They're awesome. They're great. B-Side Players. Bella Outdoors Adventures. What's happening? We've talked in the comment section before. What would be the chances of do a review and react to some Pink Floyd or some of the classic rock bands? It's an excellent question. After the first of the year, I plan on doing like kind of a series of the classics. But the problem is, I think a lot of them are going to get blocked. I'm almost for certain a lot of them will be demonetized, and I don't mind to do demonetization. I would prefer not to be demonetized because I have lost a lot of money to demonetization. But yes, I plan on, and it's one of those things, Bella Outdoor Adventures, that I might do a Pink Floyd episode. But Lalisa Manamon, no, I really can't. I can't. This is how I talk. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, I don't want to. I'm sorry if I'm offending you all with my cussing, but I'm just being honest. It's how I talk. When I'm not teaching children, I talk this way. I might even do a Pink Floyd episode, and you may never see it, and I may have to upload it to my Patreon because some stuff just gets blocked, and that's just kind of how it rolls with YouTube. It's all YouTube's still trying to figure out how to deal with reacting and analysis videos, because by the letter of the law, I am doing fair use. I am using the videos in that context, but unfortunately, it's in their best interest to not fight with the record labels. They would just rather take the money from the people who've put a lot of hard work into these videos and just give it to the artist. And here's the thing, though, they're not really giving it to the artist. This is a fucking rant. I'm sorry. When people talk about, the artist getting that money, they're getting pennies based on what the label is taking. So when the label took the monetization from the Joey Jordison video that I did, which was like 400,000 views, and that could be, for me, a significant amount of money on one video, I can tell you for a fact that they got a fraction of that money. And that's the bottom line. That's the record label. Of course, we all know record labels are evil entities. And that's been the problem, Bell Outdoors, about doing those classic rock bands, because a lot of those guys, those rock bands of that era, just aren't hip to the way that the YouTube universe works with the promotion of their music. Like, if you know that, what are they called? The two black dudes from Vegas, Lost in Vegas. Those guys did Phil Collins in the Air Tonight as a reaction. And that record went to like top 20 the next week. We, the royal we, not me, but us YouTube musical commentators, we have more power than Rolling Stone. And let's be honest, Anthony Fantano can break a band. Rolling Stone can't anymore. And that's the problem with a lot of those old school rock bands, is they haven't figured that out. So that's the reason why I haven't done like Fleetwood Mac, Jimi Hendrix, because I know for a fact that Jimi Hendrix just blocks. Beatles blocks. Rolling Stones, I'm not sure, but that's Bell Outdoors. The reason why I haven't done a lot of the old school stuff is because, to take 2, 3, 4 hours that it takes to do a video, and then it just get killed, man. It's a pain in the ass. Let's see. Lalisa Manabon. Yeah, it's honest, and honest is offensive, and I love it. That's right, Mandy Amos, man. It's just how I talk. John Jantz, I think of you every time I hear to a certain song. I crack up, excuse me, every time I hear Numa now, because as it's starting, I say, "Here comes the devil's arithmetic." Yeah, it's something I've been saying about Tool forever. Is it just like, if you think of like black and death metal bands who are like satanic, like Bathory and Burzum or Varg, that bunch, and and Dark Throne, they're like, oh, Satan, whatever. And I always think like Tool, if they were doing that gimmick, it would be like old gods that you don't remember. It'd be like old demons from like Gaelic days. That's kind of how that that came about, was the devil's arithmetic. Lalisa Manabon, who's your favorite YouTuber? I think the Critical Drinker. I love the Critical Drinker. I was actually just watching Metal Mythos today, and that's the reason why I brought up some of those death metal bands or black metal bands. I think Razor Fist is hilarious on his Metal Mythos stuff, but I think probably Critical Drinker. Once Critical Drinker puts something up, and I'm on it. Doomcock, I like him a lot. But yeah, I think Critical Drinker, I think he is the best. I think he's wonderful. I was in law school for a little while, and I'll listen to this guy named Viva Frey, who's a law blogger. He does vlogs. Know your vlogs? Let's see. Mandy Amos, fair use is only considered a defense when using someone else's material. If you get a takedown notice, you can counter it, and the only option for the alleged copyright holder is to sue. Sorta, kinda. Yes, I can dispute. I've went through all the all of the ways that you can deal with this on YouTube. You can dispute it. Now none of the stuff ever gets to the point of that, of like law stuff. The problem is there is a case on the books. It's Benjamin versus Akela Hayes. And that case actually upheld fair use on YouTube. The problem is now the next person has to take that to court. And again, YouTube, it's in YouTube's best interest to not piss off the record labels, because record labels can just pull their music, but they're not going to either, because everyone knows that YouTube is the number one place. And this is a fact. YouTube is the number one place that everyone finds new music. Amelia Hughes. That's it, Manny Amos. So yeah, that case, Benjamin versus Hughes, that is the precedent that us YouTubers, and Rick Beato was talking about that same thing, that us analysis reaction type cats and education, because I'm an education channel. I use these artists not to steal their art. I use it as a teaching tool. I'm going to be teaching at the Drummers Collective starting in January. I'm going to be one of their online instructors, and I'm going to be doing one of their classes that you can take at the Drummers Collective. And I'm going to be doing the same thing in that class. Let's see. Manny Amos says, only then can you invoke fair use as a defense. It's probably not even sure. It really is. The cryogenic drummer. Do you have your drumsticks ready? I do not. Musical music. Is Don Henley a good drummer in your opinion? He gets the job done. He's got good pocket and he's got good feel. He's not going to set the world on fire with over the top blazing technique, but he didn't need to, because it's the Eagles and it's about the song. So in the sense of Don Henley doing what is sensible and correct for the song, the Raiders didn't look good last night, bro. But yeah, where was I at? Yeah, Don Henley gets it done for that. Somebody is in. Oh man, I must be getting big enough. I'm getting trolls in the chat. I don't have any mods to take care of you all, but I am a free speech extremist. So as long as it doesn't get, too hairy, y'all can say what you want to in here. Yeah, Google didn't change the definition. It's by the law. Lalisa Maidabon, you are the first YouTuber to ever notice me on YouTube Live. Man, I notice everybody. I am very humble that anyone would want to watch me and listen to me jibber jabber. I'm up to 4.9 million views and almost 34,000 subs, and I can't believe that anyone would listen to my bullshit. So I am appreciative, and I will listen to everybody. Let's see. I understand. Bella Outdoors says, I understand the whole monetization thing and how the labels screw people. Yeah, they do. Musical music. Are you a football fan? I'm still trying to get over my Raiders pissing the season away. They haven't pissed the season away. I mean, they've got a good backup. Like, man, you got Mariota, a guy that is a starter. You know what I mean? I'm a Bears fan, dude. I would fucking love to have Marcus Mariota or Derek, what's his name? Yeah, y'all ain't doing that bad. Be a Bears fan, bro. I do look amazing with a beard. Thank you, man. I think so. If I don't have a beard, now that I'm bald, I look like Charlie Brown or a Nintendo Me. I have a very circular head. I look more like a Nintendo Me than Charlie Brown, which is why I have that beard. Oh. Todd C., I'm a Bills fan, so I'm used to upsets. This year is the Bills' years. Trubisky looks okay against a Houston team that is not nearly as good as what Houston used to be. I'm not buying that big win last week. They're going to go get housed by the Packers again, 47-0. James Acaster, out of all the drummers in all the world, which one would you most like to analyze a video of you playing the drums? Oh God. None. I don't need that in my life. I don't need legends that I look up to and aspire to be. Analyze mine. I wouldn't mind if other YouTubers would. I'd like Garrett too. I think Garrett would know the proper way to bury me because I like him. I think Garrett would do a good job. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't want Danny Carey to watch. Like if Levon was still around, I'd want Levon if he was still alive, because I think a lot of my playing, I could give him videos that are me playing as a tribute to him, because I've been able to play in a few different bands that allow me to be Levon, if you know what I mean. Bella Outdoors Adventure again. I love every time you do a Tool song or Danny Carey. They are one of my top favorite bands. I get lost in their music. One of the few bands that takes me out of reality or their entire album. Yeah, I've now done 4 and or 5 Danny Carey videos. I am done doing Danny Carey because it makes me feel like I am a grifter. Now I can be okay with the ones that I've done because I am a gigantic Danny Carey fan. I've seen him 3 or 4 times. So yeah, I think I'm done with Danny Carey. I've done everything that I can say and do about Danny Carey, but this last one I had to do because it was him doing Neil Peart. And to the guy in the comment section who said that I did not catch that Danny Carey played something wrong, you're a fucking idiot, because Danny Carey didn't play it wrong. He played it differently than what Neil did. Lalisa, oh man, thank you, Mama, thank you. Jacob Drums, have you ever watched Zach Grooves? And if you do, what do you think about him? I have not. If he's if he's like a cover band drummer, I don't really watch a lot of those cover band drummers. If he's one of those cats, I haven't. Oh, Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so here, everyone who's talking about the Danny Carey YouTuber thing, after you get done with this live stream, go straight to my channel and look up a video called "Every Drum Video on YouTube Ever." It'll tell you everything that I think of with the Danny Carey obsession. Luckadoo79, are you willing to share any popular bands you're not a fan of that may surprise some of us? I can't really think of any right now. Man, I can't think of. I'm sure there are. See, that's weird. Like, you know, Nickelback was a huge band. I don't like them, but I mean, like, that's boring. That's an obvious choice. I don't know. Let me think about that. John Jantz says, a lot of bands recognize how much y'all do for them and appreciate it. Unleash the Archers, which I'm going to be doing in the first of the year. Slaughter to Prevail, Nightwish, which I'm going to be doing at the first of the year. Of Church, Voice Play, to name a few, who interact with a lot of their reactors. I've actually talked to a few of the people I've reacted to. I think, talked to Phil Rudd. I've definitely talked to Dave Abruzzese, Pearl Jam. I've definitely talked to Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffat. Who else? Man, I think I've talked to somebody else that I've done a video of. But yeah, that's a younger generation that's understanding of how people find about music. I got a bass player friend who was in a band currently, and they got on Rolling Stone, and he's a bit of a braggarty type guy. And he was like, and he's one of my good friends. He's like, oh yeah, you know, we're on Rolling Stone. It's like, dude, nobody gives a shit that you're on Rolling Stone magazine anymore. It's not 1992. It's not 1972. Like, if you are truly getting media attention, you're getting media attention from YouTube and online vloggers. You know, it's Fantano, it's Anthony Fantano, and what's the other guy? Norab, whatever. Fucking one of y'all know who it is. That's the media of today, and a lot of those old music cats don't get that. They're still living in an old paradigm. And I am happy that at my advanced age of 43 that I have figured out that this is where shit is coming. This is where shit's happening. I am not, Lisa. What's that mean? I don't look married. I don't look married because I decorate my house like an adult child, which I am an adult child. Narwhal, yeah, that guy. Those are the people who break bands. No one is Spin still around. No one cares. Like, NME probably might have some power still in England, but no one gives a shit about Nardwar. Yeah, it's one of those. Nardwar. that's where the people are finding their music. My band hired a publicist for a single about 4 years ago, and we had one of those meetings that you have when you're in the with a music suit, and she told us that like they have hard numbers that the number one place that people find about new music is YouTube. So like I know for a fact that Fleetwood Mac, you've got multiple copyright owners in that band. Stevie Nicks obviously allows her music to go on social media and on YouTube and see what it's done for her career. And then her boyfriend, husband, dude, the fucking not Mick Fleetwood, but the guy, couldn't remember his name last time. He doesn't let his songs go on YouTube and or on social media. And I'm sure that Stevie Nicks has made more money because she has went with the times. And this is not a business to become a fucking dinosaur in. You become a dinosaur in the music business and you get left behind because the music business changes like that. And Stevie Nicks is hip and cool and knows. Let's see. Let's go back up here. Look around. I got a few people in here. I'm always appreciative of people showing up on these. I'm going to go about an hour tonight. Yeah, like what John Johnson was saying about how bands recognize how much YouTubers help them. Rick Beato's video got shared by Tool. Tool took Rick Beato's video and shared it on their Facebook, and if I'm not mistaken, on their website. Let's see what else you got. Given Hatred says, "Oh man, I know you aren't big on radio rock, but what would you say about Shannon Larkin of Godsmack? More of an alternative band. I don't know if they're an alternative band. They're cool. Rawr. May or not. I'm glad you showed up because I need a moderator. Thank you, Mama. The Portuguese woman of war pen pal. Lisa Manabon, you're trying to get deep. Have you ever been bullied in school? Yeah, I was actually, and my dad made me fight that kid, and it was one of the best lessons I ever learned. Yeah, because when I was in school, I was real super skinny. I was like 6 foot tall, weighed 130 pounds, and my dad was like, "You're going to go fight this kid who's bullying you." So Godsmack, Shannon Larkin, man, yeah. I went out of my way to not be negative outside of Lars Ulrich on this video or on my channel. Yeah, it's Godsmack, man. What can I say? It's Godsmack. Let's see. Who are the most melodic drummers of all time? Well, man, I was talking about this with a student yesterday. Man, it's like Terry Bozzio. What's more melodic than a drummer who plays by himself on a 5,000 piece drum set and plays melodies? Steve Smith from Journey, when he's not playing in Journey and he's doing his jazz stuff and his solo drumming stuff, is very, very musical. Max Roach was really the first guy that you would think of as playing musical solos, like the drum also waltzes. That's a musical solo. There are musical hooks. That's a melody. Yeah, melodic drumming is one of my favorites. Smiling is my favorite. Smiling is my favorite. But melodic drumming is some of my favorites. Best singing drummer musical music. It's Lee Von Helm. It's Lee Von Helm. Everybody knows that if you watch this channel, Lee Von Helm is my all-time favorite drummer. And when that dude sings, he can leave a tear in your eye that may stay there for a little while longer than just after you hear the song. Dylan Whiskey Chan. This is what's great about how long I've had this channel and how many videos I've had. Brooks Wackerman with Avenged Sevenfold, please. I've done Brooks Wackerman. I may have not done him with Avenged Sevenfold. I can't remember. Brian Chippendale is another guy I talked to. I talked to Brian Chippendale. Have I done Brooks with Avenged Sevenfold? I've done 2 Avenged Sevenfold with the Rev. I guess it is time for me to do one with him with Avenged Sevenfold, because I did Brooks when he was with Bad Religion, and of course, Bad Religion is one of my favorite punk bands. Michael Arroyo, got any tips on wanting to play funky ghost note stuff, but then also wanting to play really hard and creative stuff like Brian Chippendale? Ghost notes. Make sure you can play rudiments. Make sure you can play accents and taps. If you don't know what accents and taps are, find out what accents and taps are. And if you want to find that out, you can take online lessons with me on Skype. But that's where your ghost notes are, is playing those small notes. Those notes are very close to the head. As for playing like Brian Chippendale, have crazy chops and have no fucks to give. That's the best way I can describe how to play with Brian Chippendale. Never meet a fuck and have crazy chops. It's the best way that's how you can play like Brian Chippendale. Musical Roach, or musical music, your opinion on Papa Roach. Come on, are you all trolling me? If I don't like radio rock, Joanna, tell him what your opinion is on Papa Roach. She's European and a European metal freak, and she'll probably have some things to say about that. Yeah, man, I'm just not into like I don't know. It's like that Parks and Rec episode with Ron Swanson when he writes a letter to Yogurt where it says, "Dear Yogurt, be ice cream or be nothing." Like with those radio rock bands, I just want to be like, be metal or be nothing. But again, that's just opinions, man. It's just my opinion. Let's see. Herb T. Thoughts on Josh Freese? Yep. I love him. I think Josh Freese has a great creative career where he gets to do many, many, many different things. And I think that he was best on that first Perfect Circle record. Yeah, man, I love Josh Freese. Harmaxium asks, have you done Trey Cole of Green Day? No, but I'm going to. What? Tuxedo Cat, you're right, sir. Have you? You sounded like Little Feet in that audio, and the audio from a Stevens clip. Yeah, yesterday's 12 Days of Stevens. If you haven't watched that, I'm releasing a song a day until Christmas of all the different bands that I've been in, and that band was my band. It's a band that I put together, and I wrote the songs and co-wrote the songs with the guitar player. And yes, Little Feet is one of my all-time favorite bands. And when I do a top 10 favorite records list, which will be coming up, Waiting on Columbus is going to be high on that list. Little Feet is one of my favorite bands, and I think that, oh shit, Little Feet's drummer, how can I forget his name? Help me out. Tuxedo Cat. Oh God. Richie Hayward. Richie Hayward is one of my favorite drummers. I think he is a criminally underrated drummer. Man, if y'all want to hear some good, funky, New Orleans inspired, just good music, listen to Little Feet. I think they're so... Are they even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It's a crime that they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's ridiculous. Like, Little Feet should definitely be in there. Yes, Richie Hayward rules. Yes, he does. Yeah, musical music. Wackerman with Avenged Sevenfold is awesome. He's technically better than Rev, but Rev is the GOAT. I go out of my way to not do one-to-one comparisons. When I did the Art Cruise video with Lamb of God, I went out of my way to make sure that I didn't compare those two, because I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to either drummer. And I don't like that versus type stuff. Lisa Manavon. Yeah, I'd say Peanuts without the T. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm teaching high school again. Jimmy Quick, dude, I really want you to check out my band Hate Machine. I know you'll love it. It's groove metal. It's like Pantera with a little hint of Slayer and Hatebreed. We're the same age, and I like tea. I like tea too. Tell you what, Jimmy Quick, if you make a donation to my PayPal, any amount that is going straight to the Save the Music Foundation, I will check out your video. I want to raise as much money for the Save the Music Foundation this December as I possibly can. I have not really raised nearly as much as I did last year, and I know that is completely because of the world, and it's the way it is right now because motherfuckers ain't got a job and we're waiting for help and we're waiting for help and we're waiting for the world to get back to normal. So I can understand. But yeah, if you make a donation to my favorite charity, I will absolutely do that. James Acaster, have you listened to the amazing Adam Betts and his solo drum project, Colossal Squid? Nope, I have not. I don't know that one. Jay Arellano, are you one of my patrons? I think you're one of my patrons, man. What's happening? What's up? I love my patrons. So yeah, Jimmy Quick, you hook that up and send me donate to my charity and send me a link to DM me on Instagram, and I will hook you up. There is the PayPal link. Just go to any of my videos, and there's a PayPal link in the description. Again, that's not me trying. That money's going straight to my charity. I'm trying to shill for this charity, man. Whew, we're all in bad shape this year. Last year I did pretty well on making money for my charity, and it's not going that well this year, and it's kind of a bummer. Have you ever played Among Us? Is that a video game? Because if not, I haven't been playing video games for a while. I haven't played video games in a while, but I plan to after I go on vacation next Wednesday. I was actually saying that today. I have never been close to having a drug addiction, but I've been very close to having a video game addiction in my early life. I think it's one of the reasons I try to stay away from them. But I plan on having a date with John Marston and Dutch starting next Wednesday. Musical music. Who's the best Ramones drummer? All of them. Because none of them sound different. And I love the Ramones. I've seen them. I love the Ramones. I love punk. I love punk rock. I'll check out that video game. I have Xbox. I have Xbox One, Xbox 360. Best Ramones drummer. I don't know. Whatever Ramones drummer that's playing with them, because they all fucking sound the same and they all sound great and they all sound like, a machine gun, and it's awesome. So I really can't really hear the difference between Ramones drummers from track to track because it's the Ramones. It's the drum part is the drum part is the drum part. Jay Arellano, you are one of my patrons, right? Am I getting that right? Are you a fan of proto-punk bands like Death or the Stooges? Don't know about Death, but the Stooges, yeah. Yeah, because Iggy is one of the greatest frontmen of all time. Have you ever heard the Henry Rollins story of like going against Iggy Pop? It's a whole bit that he did on one of his spoken word shows. Look up Henry Rollins and Iggy Pop, and it's one of the all-time greatest rock and roll stories, because it's Henry tries to go up against the master, and it goes well for him, and then it doesn't go well for him. Let's go back up in here. So you are one of my patrons, man. Thank you very much. Be on the lookout for my Q&A. I'm going to put it up. My Patreon Q&A is going to come up next week. And yes, I did not forget my glasses today. I'm getting used to. I'm a new glasses wearer. I'm still not used to it. And the first 3 live streams I didn't have my glasses on, and I came off like I was illiterate because I couldn't read anything. Go back up here. Get through the thing. So, okay. Okay, I got a couple good ones here. Reed Hardy, what's your music education background? I've never heard you talk about it. No judgment if no formal background, because I don't have one. I have talked about it. You just haven't seen those videos. I went to an HBCU in the South, and I studied music education for 5 years, and that is my musical background. If you watched another plug for my podcast, Drunk Uncle Radio Podcast, if you go to the 3rd episode, which is called So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, and it's for people that are in different levels of the music business, I talk about how the college thing helped me tremendously. But then you'll hear 2 guys that will tell you that for them, the music school really was just a reason to get a lot of debt. And I got that debt too, not as much as they did. But yeah, I do have I do. When I was in music school, I was on scholarship, so they had my ass doing everything. I was in the drum line, in the marching band. I was in the jazz band. I was in the saxophone ensemble. I was in the percussion ensemble. I had to play in the handbell choir. I played drums for the show choir. God damn, what else? Yeah, music school, man. There were many times I slept in the music school because I had to practice so much. Because I was not a good marimba vibraphone player. I came into music school without that knowledge, and I would hide in the theater until they locked up the school, and then I would just hang out in the music building, which was called Davis Fine Arts, and practice all night because I had to, because I was not very good, and I'm still not very good, but I try to be good. Musical music. If you could form a band with famous musicians, who would be the front man? The front man, Mike Patton. Mike Patton, dude. I fucking love Mike Patton. Patton's the man. Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, Phantomus, Peeping Tom. Yeah, Mike Patton would be my front guy. I'm afraid that he might be a pretentious shithead to deal with, but I'm down for it. Avenged Sevenfold, the stage, Brooke plays on it. Yeah, that's going to be one for in the new year. Like I said earlier, I've got one more React analysis video, which is going to come out on Tuesday, and then I'm peace outing until the 1st of January, and that's when I start back with the grind. I think I'm going to slow down, and I've been trying to do 2 videos a week, and it's not really been financially that much more advantageous for me. And of course, I am a capitalist. I'm doing this for that reason as well. So I'm thinking I'm just going to be doing one React video a week, and then each month I'm going to try to start adding like some top 10 stuff. Again, I'm going to do the I paid 5 people to play my song on Fiverr. And also, if you didn't hear the first part of this, I am going to do a whole series of episodes where I am going to be healing a roached out drum set that I bought at the beginning of the quarantine, and just kind of be running through the process of that, of me meticulously cleaning all that shit and making it look like brand new. Jay Arellano, what was the best 200 max occupancy small venue show you've seen live? Damn, I've seen probably Clutch, man. I've seen Clutch 2 to 4 to 500, occupancy type places. So I'd say Clutch. Caden Blake, what's your favorite Steely Dan album? Yes, all of them. Asia is what everyone says. I can't really, man. I love Steely Dan so much. Like all of them, like the Steely Dan box set. Is that a cop out? J Rock. Yes, I do remember the Monkey Bar because I used to work there. Do YouTubers know of each other? Bonzulum, 8020 drummer, etc. I know of those cats. The only other YouTube drummer guy that I've talked to is I've briefly talked to EMC Productions through the comment section, and I've actually Instagram messaged with Garrett. But I'm really small. I'm a small fry compared to all those bigger YouTuber cats. I don't know if I'll ever get that big, and I don't really care if I do. But yeah, I mean, I know of them because, I mean, what do you think gets? I'm a drummer, and I watch drum content all the time, so that stuff constantly gets suggested to me on my YouTube app. But yeah, the only one that I guess I have talked to, Harry Myrie. I did a whole interview with him, Harry Myrie. So yeah, I know Harry Myrie. Talked to Garrett, and I've interacted with EMC Productions. I think he's great. Jay Arellano, of course, I watched Rick Beato because he is the fucking Gandalf and the Dumbledore of all YouTube music YouTubers. Rick Beato is my hero. I tell my guitar player in my metal band who's not trained at all and has no background in any kind of like learned playing, like if you could learn 1% of what Rick Beato's out, you know more than most people leaving music school. Rick, my hero. Michael Arroyo, Harry Myers seems like the coolest dude ever. He is one of the coolest dudes ever. The thing is, we did like a 2.5 hour podcast together, and then we ended up like rapping for another 3 hours. I was on a Zoom call with that dude for like 5.5 hours. He is one of my all-time favorite cats that I've met in the music business. He's just, he has this energy, man. I have a bit of a man crush on Harry Myrie. He's phenomenal. He's a great drummer, and he's just his material, his content's just bar none. It's so much better than mine. If you're not watching Harry Myrie and you're watching me, what are you doing? Go watch Harry Myrie. It was hard not to stop talking to Harry. Like, it was like at one point I had to be like, Harry, dude, it's like 5:30 in the morning and I got to teach tomorrow. I got to go, brother. Bella Outdoors Adventure. I wish I could play drums. I was banned all throughout school. Couldn't read much sheet music. I learned to play and sing by watching the first chair, and I would memorize the music. Man, everybody can play music. Anyone can play drums. Anyone can play anything. Anyone can do anything if you just put enough time into it. You know what I mean? Like, I think you run an outdoors channel. Like, if you want to be a good hunter, just hunt a lot. You know what I mean? And find the shit out and do it. Tuxedo Cat, were you nervous before NPR's Mountain Stage? If so, what did you do to help calm you down? I was not. I always say I'm too stupid to be nervous. I've done some pretty big, cool shit. And when you play on Mountain Stage, you know that they have a listenership of 300 to 400,000 people every Sunday. And as I tell my students, when, especially when I'm like getting them ready for an audition for like a all county or all state or all district, if you're going to worry about nerves, and I've never really had a nervous issue. I think I'm just too dumb. I practice a lot and I know I'm prepared and I just go out there and play. I'm just happy to be there. But I tell my students when I'm getting them ready to audition for something that the way that you fight that audition and or nervousness, anxiety about playing is you practice to the point where if you know your brain's going to start going, your body will just go into automatic muscle memory mode. And you won't need your brain to help you. You just if this part short circuits on you, if you've practiced enough, this shit will just take over for you and take care of you. So yeah, I'm going to honestly say, other than the time I played with the symphony, my band played with my state symphony, and they arranged 4 of our songs. So like my band had to play in front of an 80 person symphony. I've got a video of that. I will eventually release that one day. That I was nervous then, but I wasn't nervous because of me, because I knew I was going to be on. But like, I was just nervous and just like, man, I hope I don't like offend all these like classical music people. They're going to hate us because we're like street bar musicians. I was getting nervous in that sense. And we were playing in a really gigantic theater with lots of people there. Hold on for 1 second. Sorry, I know this is bad. So yeah, actually, Tuxedo Cat, tomorrow you're going to see another Mountain Stage performance from me. Musical music, Rambo or Rocky? Both, but if I had to pick, Rambo. I come from a military family. Everyone in my family's military except me. So yeah, man, I was raised on Rambo. Luckadoo 79. I got to meet Mike Patton. My friend asked him if there was anything he did to keep his voice in tip-top shape, and he said gargle sperm. That's the problem with Mike Patton. I think that being in a band with Mike Patton might just be exhausting because he's kind of a snide shithead. And I say that being one of his biggest fans, but I've watched a lot of his interviews, and he can be exhausting. But man, those talented people are all fucked up and weird, man. What normie is exceptional? Normies are accountants, you know. Geniuses are Mike Patton, and they come with bugaboos and they come with baggage, and I will put up with baggage if you're great. Reagan Lee, how did you grow out your beard? Quit shaving. Sean Ruiz, hey bro, from Mexico, what's happening, brother? Old Tuxedo Cat, yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. I have an ongoing offer. The question is, did you ever watch Levon Helm's Drum and Drumming VHS DVD? I did, and it is nowhere, and I will give any amount of money for a copy of that because it's impossible to find. I have Pirate Bayed. I've went every illegal way to find it. Vimeo, Daily Motion, BitChute, nowhere. It's run all of them. And I can't find it. And I want it. And I will spend any amount of money. This is an advertisement. If you're watching this live stream, and if you have access to Levon Helm's drums and drumming video, I will pay any amount of money for that. Ramble Ron, I told Patton he was one of the best singers out there, and he glared at me. Yeah, man, he's that way, dude. He is. I listened to an interview once where he was doing an interview for maybe the Peeping Tom record, and maybe it was for Tomahawk. And one of the radio interviewer guys, just some poor schlub in some small market somewhere, I'm sure, was like, hey, in the middle of the interview, was like, hey, Mike Patton, when we're going to have another Faith No More video. I know, Bell Outdoors, it's terrible. I hate it. I'm not going to say that I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop because New Year's resolutions are usually bullshit. But anyway, the guy asked Mike Patton, hey, when are we going to have a new Faith No More album? And he just goes, wrong band, and hangs up. Fuck off, man. As much as I love Mike Patton, and I do, don't be a dick like that. People love you and they like your fucking stuff and they're just interested. Don't be a shithead like that. Jay Arellano says, if you had to choose between punk and metal, where would you lean? In my younger days, punk. Right now, metal. Definitely. My first band was a punk band. The first bands that made me want to be in a band was like early Green Day and fucking Sex Pistols and Pennywise. So yeah, that stuff made me want to be able, and Nirvana, obviously. So yeah, right now, metal. Back in the day, punk, but I love them both. Let's go up. I'm going to probably wrap this up, everybody, 10, 15 minutes from now. Given Hatred asks, you are lucky to have seen Metallica. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Yeah, I've seen Metallica. I've seen Metallica twice. I saw Metallica on the And Justice for All tour, and this particular show, someone broke the barrier down, and there was almost a riot. And I was like, teenager, man, watching people just fucking freak out up front. And I was kind of scared. Rebel Ron, speaking of Mr. Bungle, have you heard Clowncore? If not, do a reaction. I'm going to do a reaction to Clowncore. Yeah, I've been asked a lot about that. Caden Blake, if you could pick any bass player in history to play with, who would it be? I wouldn't be good enough to play with him, but man, I want to play with Jaco Pastorius, man. I want to fucking play with Jaco. And probably Rick Danko would be another one. John Paul Jones, Les Claypool. Bass is my second favorite instrument. If you've watched my videos, you know that we love bass players around here. So that's a long ass list. Tuxedo Cat, did you dig Uncle Tupelo Wilco? I never really knew anything that much about Uncle Tupelo, but Wilco is one of my all-time favorite bands. I love Sky Blue Sky. I think that record is phenomenal. I think it's one of the best records ever. Wilco the band. I think I like post J Wilco because what's their drummer or their guitar player is probably my favorite guitar player going right now. It's Wilco's guitar player. Plays jazz, the fucking jazz master. God damn it. Niles Klein. I am a Niles Klein Wilco fanatic. I love Wilco. I saw him 4 or 5 years ago. Musical music. How do you feel about Foo Fighters? My mom thinks Dave used Nirvana's fame to get where he is. Your mom is probably a very cool mom, but your mom is absolutely wrong because everybody has tried to have a solo project after a big ass band. All of them, everybody. And none of them did it like Dave Grohl. And that's not because if that's true, why isn't Chris? I've heard this argument before, and I'm not going to bury your mom because I'm sure she's a lovely lady. But I've heard this argument before. And if that's fucking true, like everybody that's ever been in a big band ever has tried a fucking solo project that you never heard about. Dave Grohl is Dave Grohl because he's one of the greatest figures in the history of rock and roll music. I hate that. Fuck, man. Your mom's not alone in that opinion. I have heard that multiple times and it runs me crazy. Chris Hansen, Geezer. Yeah, man, I'd play with Geezer Butler. That'd be fucking cool. You know your mom's wrong. Yeah, man, you know, there are moms. We gotta put up with our moms because they put up with our bullshit, right? My mom loves James Taylor, and I just did a whole podcast about how I fucking hate James Taylor. I may not be allowed back at Christmas. My big Liz might be at the door being like, "You're not allowed in this year." I don't know. Because James Taylor's her favorite artist, and I did a whole podcast with, again, the Drunk Uncle Radio podcast, because I am pushing that shit to the moon on this podcast or on this live stream. And the whole episode was Jim Croce versus James Taylor. The choice is clear, and I made it pretty clear that I think James Taylor is fair to Midland at best. If you're from the South, you'll know what I'm saying. Okay, y'all, we're gonna do about 10 more minutes. So get it in now if you want to get it in. Michael Arroyo, Louis Cole. I'm going to do a Lewis or Louis Cole. I got to figure out which way to say that first. But yeah, I have a whole big ass list and I'm going to start tackling when I come back January 4th. My next episode is going to be, I think I'm going to react to the Drumeo staff's Christmas video, which I think might be funny because I think they have a lot of non-drummers in their office that they make play. That's always funny. Flea market floppy disk. That's I like alliteration. What other genre brought that kind of ideology into music? What genre? Flea market saying, oh, y'all having a political conversation. Y'all go ahead. Speak amongst yourselves. I don't speak on that bullshit because I have said from day one that I will be the one YouTube channel that does not talk about politics or religion because this platform is lousy with that shit. And if you want that, just go look at every other YouTube channel but mine, basically. John, how far south did you go to college? South. If you all know, I am trying to stay anonymous, and it's down south. By my accent, obviously, it's down south. Ministry is industrial, and they embrace their movement harder than any one punk band. I love Ministry. I love them. I love Psalm 69. That shit's amazing. Bell Outdoors. I love watching Dave pull people on stage and let them play. The kid that played that played Metallica, Kiss Guy, was my two favorites. Man, because dude, it's just Dave's a good dude. And one thing that I've noticed about him is like he never forgot. And I think this really comes from like the punk background that he was in. Because what was he in? Violence first was like a DC hardcore band. That guy that played in living rooms and house shows and basement shows. He never forgot that guy. And even when he's at Wembley Stadium, or if he's at Red Rocks, or if he's at Madison Square Garden, he's still that dude. He's still the guy that's a fan. He's a musician that's a fan. Like that one video when Jimmy Page gets up and plays with him, he's a 16-year-old that cannot fucking believe that he's in the place that he's at. And it's infectious, and it's why everybody fucking loves Dave Grohl. It's why he's one of the most beloved figures in all of rock and roll, because Dave Grohl will always and has always been a fan first and someone who didn't fucking forget where he came from. Rodney Parsons. Rodney, I think I know you. Don't tell where we're from. Thoughts on Artemis Pyle? Artemis Pyle, of course, is the drummer for Lynyrd Skynyrd, and he is painfully underrated. Lynyrd Skynyrd has kind of become a meme. Lynyrd Skynyrd has become kind of a bit of a joke because it's, play Freebird, play Sweet Home Alabama, right? But they're one of the best rock and roll bands of all time, and Artemis Pyle is one of the best drummers of all time. And another drummer from that scene is Paul Riddle from the Marshall Tucker Band. And Paul Riddle is even better, in my opinion anyway, than Artemis Pyle, and no one talks about Paul Riddle with Marshall Tucker Band. Those are two of the greatest rock bands of all time. Can you do a Keith Moon at Tanglewood live 1970 reaction video? Would be a good one. Yep, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier with old Bella Outdoor there. I will try to do some of those old icons, but if you don't see them, it's probably because they got blocked. Because a lot of those old school record label type rock bands like that don't allow their shit on YouTube. Do this. Everybody check this out. Go find something about Prince. It's gone. Nothing of Prince is on the YouTube. I tried to watch the Prince Super Bowl show, which is the best Super Bowl show ever. It's nowhere. It's nowhere. Like, it's scrubbed. Whoever is running the Prince machine, they got that shit on lockdown. Luckadoo 79. This might be a good question to end on. Well, no. Here's another one, too. Let me go to this one first. Chris Hansen, not really a drum question. Man, all music questions are drum questions. I'm not just a drum-centric channel. We're music. We're music first, and it's drum-centric through the music lens. And do you dig Americana music like Jason Isbell? Well, Chris Hansen, when you watch my 12 Days of Steveness tomorrow, there's going to be what some people would call Americana on there, and I've been in Americana bands, and I fucking love Jason Isbell. I met a very special person in my life at a Jason Isbell concert. Jason Isbell's phenomenal. I think that once Jason Isbell left the Drive-By Truckers, I think they've been floundering ever since. Jason Isbell, his absence, I think, has ruined the Drive-By Truckers. That's what I think. Jason Isbell, that fucking If We Were Vampires, it's one of the best love songs that's ever been written. It might be a top 10, 15 love song. The way that he frames how you love someone so hard because you know you're going to die eventually. But if we were vampires, we knew we would live forever. Maybe that love wouldn't last or be as strong. It's genius. Jason Isbell's a genius. Whew, man, that song. Probably listen to that tonight at some point. Let's see a couple more. Say Cover Me Up. Yeah, I mean, Cover Me Up, obviously. But man, I think If We Were Vampires, that is the pinnacle of Jason Isbell. And you know what? You know, it hits harder when you know that when he's singing that, his fucking old lady is right there. You know, Melissa. Is it Melissa? Shit, his wife. I can't remember her name. Phenomenal fiddle player. You know, he's singing it to her. You know, that song's about her. It's, as a songwriter, when I heard it, I was like, I'm never going to pick up a pen again, because this is a genius framing of one of the most written about ideas in music. And I think he did it better. He did it more creatively than I've heard in a long time. As a songwriter, it'll make you want to quit writing. Amanda Shires, yeah, that's it. She's in the Highwaywomen, or Highwomen. Is they called Highwaywomen? Yeah, man. If we were vampires, if you're a songwriter, and if that don't hit you, you're not a songwriter. You're probably not a lyricist, because you don't get it. Okay, I'm going to do one more. I think it's a great last thing, and I'm going to do a little sign off. Luckadoo 79 says, the best and worst concert you ever attended. Okay. The worst concert, that's hard. I've seen so many. Worst concert. I'm trying to think of the worst. I can think of, like, one of the worst times I ever saw someone having a bad time on stage. I mean, I can put it like that. I saw the Counting Crows open up for the Rolling Stones on the either the Steel Wheels tour or the Voodoo Lounge tour. Maybe it was the Voodoo Lounge tour. It was in Indianapolis at the Hoosier Dome. And I saw like fucking 50, 60,000 people booing and throwing shit at the lead singer from Counting Crows. And I was a teenager, and I'd never seen anything like that. I just figured like, hey, man, we all paid a shit ton of money to come see these bands. Let's enjoy it all. And Rolling Stones fans were not fucking ready and did not want to hear from the Counting Crows that day. And that really affected me. I was like, man, I hope I never have to fucking deal with that. Oh my God, I hope I never have to deal with that. And I know that's kind of a weak workaround of what my worst concert ever is. I don't know. If it was a worst concert experience, I probably don't remember it because I make sure that I have synapses that are fried enough to get rid of bad memories. But the best concert that I've ever been to, I will give you a few. Probably Rush on the Roll the Bones tour. Soundgarden at Lollapalooza. Tool when Tomahawk opened. Man, that Wilco concert was up there too. I would guess I'll give you a 5. I'll give you those 5 or 6. Those were probably my best concert experiences of my entire life. I saw the Black Crowes, and there's a good chance that Chris Robinson was so high he could barely make it through the show. That's a big old possibility. But I saw the Black Crowes, and they were awesome. I saw Black Crowes. It was Robert Randolph opening. And the Drive-By Truckers with Isbell. So I saw Drive-By with Jason Isbell, and they were great. Okay, you all. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to go finish The Mandalorian, and I'm going to go wrap Christmas presents. So before I go, I would like to thank everyone who watches the channel and watches my stuff and likes and comments and shares and you know, talks to me in the comment section and has interacted with me here. I hope you all get to see your families and your loved ones at this Christmas time, because that's what Christmas time is for. You know, December, I like how as a society we have decided that Christmas is going to be that one month of the year where we're all going to be just a little nicer to each other, and we're just going to be a little happier, and we're not going to be such dicks. And that's what I love about Christmas. That's why I'm such a child when it comes to Christmas. So I hope everyone gets to see their family and gets to see their loved ones. I hope you all get to hug them again. It's one thing I miss about all this is like hugging people. It's strange. I did a Christmas recording a couple weekends ago, and I saw one of my oldest friends, and I hadn't seen Doug in a while, and it was weird because, you know, we all had our masks on and all that shit, and I just went to Doug, and I had to be like, Doug, can I hug you? And I, you know, he's one of my loved ones, and I never have to ask Doug if I have to hug him, but it's this bummer that we live in a society right now, because of the scene and the situation we're in, that you have to like ask if you can hug. And thankfully Doug let me hug him, and it felt good. So I hope everyone gets to have a good Christmas, and I want you all to have a good Christmas. And I am, again, always blown away that anyone wants to listen to me jibber jabber. And everyone, please enjoy the 12 days of Stevemas. Tomorrow is day 6. You will see what some people will call the Americana band that I was in. You'll see one more react video on Tuesday, and then you're not going to see my happy ass until the beginning of January, because I need a big old break from content making. And I appreciate you all. Thank you all very much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy what's the other one? Kwanzaa, and most importantly, happy Festivus. May the feats of strength go your way. I've got a lot of problems with you people.